Now that we finally have our first look at the Pixel 6 and the 6 Pro, it's time to talk about the one thing that's going to matter the most in these phones, the cameras. Every year with the Pixel phone release, people have these huge expectations from Google, like they're going to blow our minds with this amazing hardware, but that has actually never happened. But looks like with the Pixel 6 Pro, Google wants to go all in and make a huge splash in the smartphone space. Now before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button and let's talk Pixel 6 cameras. Now for people that might not know, Google has been using the same sensor in its Pixel phone since the Pixel 2 XL with small adjustments in the aperture. Now if you think that doesn't matter, imagine thinking if Apple used the iPhone 10 sensor in the 12 Pro or if Samsung used the same sensor as the S8 in the S21 Ultra. Granted, the Pixel 5 still takes some of the best still pictures, there's only so much Google can do with that limited resolution sensor. So yeah, Pixel 6 using a new sensor should be a huge deal. Another thing to note from these renders is the fact that for the first time, Google will use a triple camera setup in the Pixel 6 Pro. Now that means no compromise between the ultrawide and the telephoto lens. This means that we'll get all three basic sensors, that is the main lens, the ultrawide and the telephoto, and maybe more if other leakers are accurate. The smaller of the two siblings will only get two cameras. I hope the second lens is an ultrawide and not a telephoto. With Google, you never know when they make a stupid decision of using a telephoto lens, because according to them, while ultrawides are more fun, telephotos are more useful. The rumored main sensor for the Pixel 6 is the same sensor that the OnePlus 9 Pro used for its main lens. It's the 48 megapixel Sony IMX789 sensor, and if that's the case, it will be interesting to see how Google adapts to that higher pixel count. Up until now, Google has only used a 12 megapixel sensor for its cameras, and the 48 megapixel sensor would allow for high quality images and potentially even better low light photography. And if Google can do an amazing job in night photography with a 12 megapixel sensor, just imagine the endless possibilities with a 48 megapixel snapper. Last year, Google debuted the ultrawide lens on the Pixel 5. It was a great addition to the already amazing main lens. It was a 16 megapixel sensor that took some crispy shots with the familiar pixel-like contrasty look. This year, it's still unclear if Google will use the same sensor or upgrade the ultra-wide lens. Now I am hoping to get something along the lines of the OnePlus 9 Pro ultra-wide camera. That sensor was such a delight to use. Now that specific camera was custom made by Sony for the 9 Pro, but I wouldn't be shocked if Google ends up using something similar to that 50 megapixel snapper. Along with that, don't be surprised if Google uses their software magic trickery to remove the fisheye distortion effect altogether. The OnePlus 9 Pro used a freeform lens to remove that edge distortion, but if you know Google, they like to flex their software magic for such things. With the telephoto lens, the rumors start to get a bit interesting. Some leakers have claimed to have seen images of the Pixel 6 Pro having a periscope lens. If that is indeed true, then the renders by John Prosser and the information by other leakers are in contradiction. I believe there are multiple prototypes of the phone floating around, and Google is indeed testing multiple camera setups. One pathway that Google might take is using the telephoto lens and not a periscope. In my opinion, then shouldn't be a huge deal. If you know Google's software camera magic, you must have heard about this super res zoom, and even if the Pixel 6 Pro uses a 2x telephoto lens, the super res zoom enhances it to the level of a 3x or a 4x optical zoom. The second case is that Google indeed ends up using a periscope lens. Now this could be true considering the fact that Google has decided to finally go all in with the Pixel 6 Pro. That periscope lens has been reported to be a 5x zoom, and the sensor is said to be an 8 megapixel snapper. Another sensor that is reportedly missing from John Prosser's render is a color correction lens. It could be there to help Google get better color grading for their pictures, or maybe help Google Photos for post-editing. Hopefully, it's not just a sensor for namesake like that 2 megapixel monochrome sensor from the 9 Pro. And as is visible from the renders, there is a single front-facing shooter. Now, I am optimistic that the selfie camera will have a wider field of view than previous Pixel phones. Another important aspect that Google should pay more attention towards in the Pixel 6 Pro is the video quality. Now the video quality has improved over the years on the Pixel phones, but these new sensors should add to better video quality on the Pixel 6 and the 6 Pro and at least be somewhat comparable to the newer iPhones. Now all these sensors sound great and all, but Google has one disadvantage going into the Pixel 6 Pro launch. Mark Levoy, the man who used software to turn the Pixel 6 camera into a powerhouse, left Google back in March 2020. Leroy headed up the team that developed the impressive computational photography technology used in Google's Pixel smartphones such as night sight, portrait mode, and HDR+. With Google missing Mark's vision, it's difficult to see how Google can steer the Pixel camera to even more greatness than before. Now, I'm not saying that just one person made the camera so great, but he was indeed the mastermind behind Pixel camera success. Now, this is definitely an exciting year for Pixel phones. Android 12 is looking great, the new design language Google is taking is bold, there are going to be new camera sensors, watchOS integration with Samsung's Tizen sounds amazing, the upgraded Pixel Buds, and then the much anticipated Pixel Watch. Now, as always, be sure to subscribe for more tech content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.